Investigators from multiple law enforcement agencies are focusing on a home in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, just south of Pittsburgh. It is where the suspected 20-year-old shooter lived. Investigative reporter and anchor Meghan Schiller of CBS Pittsburgh is here. Good morning.
Good morning. This is about as close as we can get here in Bethel Park this morning to that gunman's home. If I step out of the way, look at all the law enforcement that is gathered down the street at the stop sign. If you hang a right, the gunman's home is right there, a few houses up. They have all of the roads blocked surrounding the home of the 20-year-old shooter right now. Secret Service and the FBI zeroed in on the home last night and are conducting an investigation into his background, speaking with his family and other contacts. Now, we were here as law enforcement swarmed the neighborhood about an hour south of Butler, where the rally occurred yesterday. I talked with one resident in the area who said that she heard a knock on the door in the middle of the night. She was told that she needed to evacuate and she would not be able to return to her home until noon today. When they came and knocked on your door and told you to leave the house, what did you know at that time? Anything?
Nothing. It was a state of emergency. That was it. And then I started hearing rumors shortly after about there being a bomb, which was just confirmed when I went to the Bethel Park police station and asked them what the hell was going on.
What did they tell you?
They said there's a bomb in the house, and that's why we can't get there. And they said the earliest that we can look at getting in our house is going to be noon.
So the Bethel Park police...
Two officers from Bethel Park Police confirmed that there was a bomb in the house.
And now, whether or not there was actually a bomb inside the shooter's home, still not confirmed. But we were told by Bethel Park Police that they were investigating a potential bomb threat around the gunman's home. Now, we want to show you video here of the shooter, where he appears to be graduating and accepting his diploma on stage from Bethel Park High School in 2022. He was a registered Republican who previously made a small donation to a Democratic-aligned group, $15 donation at that. At this time, there are no links to any foreign terrorism. The shooter is not well known to law enforcement here in this area of Pittsburgh, and so far, no motive released by the FBI. John?
Meghan Schiller, thank you so much for that. We want to turn now to Samantha Vinograd, a former Homeland Security official and a CBS News contributor. Sam, thank you for joining us. Okay, let's start with just the same question I asked AT. What are the list of questions on your notepad of what you would want answered based on the facts as you know them right now?
Well, John, I think there are really two lines of effort underway. The first is the investigation into the perpetrator himself. In a press conference last night, law enforcement did not rule out the fact that this individual did not act alone. So I am keen to hear whether law enforcement believes that this threat has been totally neutralized and that there are not other co-conspirators. At the same time, there's also a need to have an independent investigation into the intelligence and operational failures that led to this moment. If this individual was not known to law enforcement, investigators are likely still looking into whether he made concerning statements to his family and others, and if that was or was not known to law enforcement and why, and what security protocols the U.S. Secret Service had in place, what led to their determination on the extent of the secure perimeter, and again, what their command and control structure was on the ground at the rally to communicate information about tips and to send law enforcement to investigate them on the ground as soon as possible.
In terms of rallies or events like this, and we have two conventions this summer, but over the last few years, give us your sense of how Homeland Security officials, Secret Service officials have had to change the way they cover these kinds of events. How much further out the perimeter has to be, how much more seriously they have to take threats because they are more numerous, but also that they can lead to this. Just give us a sense of the pre-existing condition with respect to political violence before this event ever happened.
Before this event ever happened, we were at an unprecedented high when it comes to political violence in this country against candidates and officials from both sides of the aisle. One important note of context, though, John, which is the U.S. Secret Service does not pick the sites at which candidates rally or where conventions are held. All that they can do under the best of circumstances is protect that site to the best of their ability. So we don't know if the U.S. Secret Service, in this case, in a large open-air field, warned that this site was not wholly protected. as it pertains to the Republican National Convention, based upon the threat environment, based upon the very public reality that the world now knows that long-range weapons were able to strike a man who was perhaps viewed as impenetrable because of his security detail. They will likely now extend the security perimeter out. But John, last point, I will say that resources to protect the president and former president were already at an unprecedented high based upon the fraught threat environment that we just discussed.
Samantha Vinograd, thank you so much.